I've been wondering what is really exciting about the opportunities that have been caused because of the pandemic. And one of them is the whole idea of being a digital nomad, of just taking your laptop and going anywhere in the world and working from there. Because most of my work is digital and I can do it anywhere. So why am I locating myself in one place? My friend Alex Lennon is also thinking about becoming a digital nomad. So thanks, Alex, for joining us.
Not at all. Thank you for the invitation, Lucy. It's fantastic.
And you're a step further than I am on this. So tell me, what's your story?
I have had a bit of an experiment, and I could tell you a little bit of my history and what I've got hopefully coming up in the near future. I work in the realm of IoT, the Internet of Things. Predominantly what I do is a lot of software work and integration work, different kinds of hardware platform. But I'm really fortunate in that the very vast majority of what I do is knowledge-based, and the people that I work with, I can connect with very, very easily through, the medium of the internet, whether it's Skype or Slack, or as we're doing today, Zoom, or whatever it might be. And all I really need is a computer and a bit of electricity, some internet connection, quite often some little bits of hardware, which would be the things I'm working on at any given time. And that's it. I've got my own small company. I freelance, consult, contract for people as and when is needed. Now, one of the first things that happened was that my former wife, she had a job opportunity and she wanted to go and live and work in the south of France. How could you say no to that? So we did a lot of kind of discussion about whether it was possible. And cutting a long story short, we went over there to live there for about a year, 10 months. Basically, I was continuing my business as usual. So I had my network connectivity. I have a whole other set of stories about how difficult that was to get set up in France. That was really hard work. But the workaround for that was that I ended up doing quite a lot through 4G, just to keep things going. That kind of worked. So I had my clients here in the UK. I was working out of France, and there were some trials and tribulations, but it worked pretty well. And we had this lovely sunny, beautiful environment to be within. I got to go and do a lot of diving, which is one of my big passions in life and leads me wherever I go. And, we saw a different culture, and then we came back. So that was kind of the first. It wasn't real. I wasn't thinking of a digital nomadsy at that point, but that was something that seemed a great opportunity to us. Then a couple of years after that, I was going through some changes in my life, and it occurred to me that I'd quite like to do something a little bit similar. I was less worried about it, having lived and worked out there once before.
So you've done it once. You've tested it. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing, just the fear. There's a fear of the unknown, isn't it? Yeah. Certainly for me, and that was very much easier having sort of been through a few of the issues with how do you get the house sorted? What's it going to be like with a different legal system? Am I going to be okay over driving on the other side of the road?
Yeah.
All those things, and they kind of mount up. But I went on holiday with a friend, diving holiday, of course, to Croatia. So we went down, had a wonderful time in a little place there. And I came back and I thought, there isn't really, at this point in my life, there isn't really anything stopping me from just going over there for a bit. And what I could do is I could, carry on doing my business, do a little bit less of that, and do some diving courses. So that's what I did. I took the plunge, did some arranging, and I lived over there for, again, another 10 months or so, working with people within this kind of ecosystem that I work within in the UK. I was living in a tiny, tiny little place with a very basic existence, which is what I wanted at that time. And I was waking up in the morning and I was coming down the hill from this place. I was walking along this beautiful blue of the Adriatic water shimmering up at me to go and have a dive. And I was thinking, my God, this is heaven. This is just absolutely wonderful, So stayed there for a while, back in the UK, carrying on. I've been here now for 2 or 3 years, I suppose, a little bit longer. This idea of what I've sort of been doing coalesced into an understanding of what other people are doing with this world of this digital nomad idea. But I can see that there's a whole swathe of people who are in a great situation, particularly younger people probably, in a great situation, to be able to travel the world and leverage their skills to deliver value and generate an income and live the kind of sort of flexible life that they want to live. Then I was out and about with a friend of mine from work, and we were having a chat and chewing the fat as you do. And he said to me, have you heard about this thing Barbados are doing, Alex? So I went, what's that, Simon? He said, well, they've got this visa program where you can apply. And if you're a kind of person who can relocate around the world and remote work, you can go there and stay there under this visa program for up to 12 months. And you work elsewhere, you don't work locally. Mm-hmm. You can apply for this. And I thought, wow, what a great, this fits perfectly. But I just feel that I'd like to get as much out of my diving as I can in the next, 10, 15 years and really do things with that. Mm-hmm. So my ideal, I've felt, would be to be somewhere where there was great warm water diving and I could work and I could bring in an income and I could sort of be flexible about how I did that so that I could both do the computing side of things, which I love, but also go out and do some diving and progress and teach people how to dive, get some more qualifications with that. So when this possibility of Barbados came up, I thought, oh my word, that great bit of the world, great diving. I was kind of thinking around what this might, what might be behind this. And of course, with all the difficulties, so many different kinds of difficulties we've all been having with COVID, of course, that must be hitting their tourist industry hugely. Mm-hmm. And so I'm thinking, well, given that they're in the US time zone and that they're making a point of saying they have great broadband capability, it seems to be, I can see why it would be such a good idea to try to attract people in who can live this digital nomad life for 6 months, 12 months, whatever it might be.
Have you been to Barbados before?
Never been. Never. Been, no. And I'm going to go on my own. Uh-huh. I've had chats with the kids and I have chats with my former partner, and they're okay with that. Now, it is possible to apply for a visa with dependents and take them over. That wouldn't work for us, I don't think, in our particular situation, because my daughter's just about to start with her GCSEs. They'll be staying here. My wish and hope is that we'll get them out there for some holidays and they can do some diving with me. There
are quite a few different countries offering these types of visas. So there's Bermuda and there's Georgia as well. What made you choose Barbados? Was it just the diving?
Just the diving. It's diving led. If I can go somewhere where there's great diving, boom, I'm gone.
How are you going to cope with the heat? It's not the same as Liverpool.
I'm going to be in the water all the time, so
it's fine, absolutely fine. Yeah, work in the evenings. It'll be great. Yeah.
But equally, there's a thing there because it was really very hot when we were living in the south of France, and some things came out of that for me which were very interesting. I mean, I kind of went over. And there were things that initially quite, if I'm honest, quite annoyed me. It was hard to get our broadband set up. It was very hard to get things delivered. And I was coming from, I realized after a while, I was sort of coming from a UK mentality of, got to do it now, got to do it straight away, have to have it done tomorrow. Where's my Amazon Prime delivery? Shake, shake, shake. And after a while, you would realize that the French people have this beautiful sun and this beautiful landscape and beach. And they're sort of saying, well, we don't want to work all the time. We want to go down to the beach and enjoy our lives. And you kind of go, oh, yeah, what a great idea. Let's maybe not be so worried about whether the delivery happens tomorrow. Let's just have a little bit more time, having a family meal. So I am actually looking forward to being able to get out a little bit more with my knotted handkerchief on my head.
Yeah, socks and sandals.
Pretty much, yeah.
It sounds like to me that this is purely lifestyle choice. You can take your work anywhere, so go somewhere that you really fancy.
I recognise that my views and my needs have changed a lot during my life and my outlook on the world around me. And I very much have responsibilities, and my children are the primary thing in my life, to make sure that they're happy and that they're okay. But equally, we have one life. Essentially, it's down to us, isn't it? For me, we should be living our lives. I don't want to be sitting in an office, putting money into a pension, getting older, and then finding that life has somehow passed me by. I think that I'd much rather have less things, but enjoy more experiences, and preferably with other like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really where I'm at. That's really what is important to me. So this is about trying to, to suck the marrow out of life, to be a part of the world and enjoy being, and hopefully contribute. I want to go and hopefully be involved and help any communities that I'm in, and maybe, do a bit of IoT teaching if people are at all interested in it. But I think it's about that. It's about the experience, about having those experiences that make us what we are. And I think that's why I'm really, really excited and keen to be taking this next step.
It's brilliant. I'm even more excited now than I was.
So you're going to come and join me then?
Oh, I'm tempted. Thanks ever so much for joining me today. It's been great.
Not at all, Lucy. Thank you.